Hey guys, welcome back to another Juicy Reacts. Thank you so much for clicking on the channel today. We hope you're having a great day wherever you're watching
Yes,
from.
we do. And comment below where you are watching from. We'd be super interested in where you are in the world right now. We have a part 2 today. We did, if you haven't seen part 1, you might want to go and check out the first part, or you can just jump straight in here. It's up to you.
It's a very interesting video. It's one of my favourite videos I've actually reacted to on this channel, I think. It's an insight into life in 1956, a high school exchange student debate on prejudice from people from the, one guy from the Philippines, a girl from Japan, a girl from the UK, and a girl from Indonesia. Yes. And part 1 was interesting. We're gonna get stuck into part 2.
They're all young people, but they're very intelligent, very well spoken, and they're giving their thoughts in 1956 on prejudice against groups of people.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Pre-social media, probably a lot of travel.
Yes.
Because people really, unless you were super rich, I guess in those days, you wouldn't have traveled to see these countries and experience cultures for yourself like we can today. And these would just be things that they've been taught or grown up with or told by older family members. So really interesting insight. We're going to dive straight back in.
So if you're new around here, please hit that subscribe button. And if you're interested in seeing what else we get up to on our daily vlog YouTube channel, then check out the Juicy Vlog, link below also, and subscribe there as well, why not? If you've got any more videos you'd like us to react to, just like this one or anything else, anything at all, send us a message over on Instagram. They're also linked below, and that's where we'll find all of our reaction requests. Right, without further ado.
2, 1.
Great problem. Yes, Eureka.
Yes, Japan have had many American or European soldiers after the war, and most of them married with Japanese girls, not only formal wedding. And they made children who called hybrid. And I think the hybrids have nothing to be punished, but some grown-ups didn't used to treat as the Japanese children. And grown-ups also used to treat the mothers of children. Japanese people thought that the mothers of hybrids are not good, they are horrible, because they married with foreign people, foreign boys, and many Japanese people don't like.
I guess it wasn't as common back then, having like an interracial, like two different cultures and countries having a family.
Nationalities.
Yeah, there you go, that's the word.
Consider with different way.
But these days that's so common.
May I say,
what?
prejudice
like, why?
in Japan
because it's just new. It's like everything had to be new at some point.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Eureka, could you tell us something about the status of women in Japan? We hear the strangest things, and you've been telling me the strangest things. Could you tell us more about it?
Before the war?
Yes, she's suddenly the host of the show.
Yeah. Up to about 60 years ago, Japanese people thought that white people are horrible because they are almost red hairs, and everything is so.
Why is everyone against red hairs?
Bodies. And
what?
What did she say?
Everything is so big about their bodies.
Still think so. And in Japan, we think that something.
Why do you care about other people so much?
Must be small and delicate.
You can hardly apply the word delicate to some of the big soldiers we sent to Japan, could you? But I never knew that you looked down on us because we were big. That's very interesting.
We're always proud of if
She's
the Western men are tall and handsome. We consider that yes.
Oh, we're proud to be small and delicate.
What you said about skin color, Eureka, I've heard that the Chinese speak about us as pink people.
Red hair isn't that common. Red hair is one of the least common colours for hair.
Oh, yes.
It's crazy that that's coming up so often.
Might as well face it, Judith. Here we are.
I feel scarlet.
Ratnati, let's get. Yes.
Judith, since Philippines has so many colonies and well, let's say nearly all over the world, how do you feel towards the people in the colonies? Do you have some prejudice?
No, I personally don't have any prejudice. At least I hope I don't. But I know that a lot of Europeans think of the Asians, for example, as rather lazy. I don't mean to be rude, but that used to be the impression we had. You know, when we started our colonization.
Never heard that as a
we thought we were doing good for you. I know that you dislike, for example, in Indonesia, you dislike the Dutch there. But they probably thought they were helping you.
They were not helping us. See, you mentioned that we're lazy. Well, we are not exactly lazy, but they didn't give us a chance, see? And we didn't get experiments to build our country.
Well, Judy, I don't think all Asians are lazy.
No, please, you're misunderstanding me. I said that was a general opinion. Maybe not now, I hope so.
He's like, right, this debate's just
but-
getting started.
Well,
It's interesting,
it's
isn't it?
well, sort of wrong to say that they are lazy. Let's just say that they've got very flat feet that they can't lift them up. Because you've got to consider, for example, the climate in most of the regions in Asia. Well, it's just but natural. You can't just work with all the warm climate around you. Of course, you'd always feel like fanning yourself, or going to an air-conditioned theater or something else where it's cold.
Didn't know they had air
Not
conditioning.
only this difference of climate that explains a difference in tempo, but is there a difference in philosophy, too, that perhaps we in the West haven't appreciated, I wonder?
Well, as far as I know it, and well, I think you've mentioned it in this program, that Indians think that they should never soil their hands. And in the Philippines, I must admit that, well, we're sort of inclined to get white-collar jobs and swivel chairs. Most of us do, especially the new college graduates. We don't want to work with our hands. We want to have,
That's like office jobs
big
coming
bosses
in.
and with pretty secretaries around us. That's the common tendency.
Could you give a proof that we are lazy?
Oh, gosh, now you put me in a corner.
But she didn't say that, did she? It's so awkward.
But she's in a room with 3 other Asian people.
That's what's crazy. You know how different these 3 Asians are on the board?
I know the
She's
British, when
saying
they started
Asia
doing
as a
their
whole, but
colonization,
these 3 are
they
so
tried to help
different in
the countries
themselves.
they were in. But you think that we were butting in and taking away your opportunities?
That's
Well,
why prejudice
yes, I
is
think
crazy,
so,
because
as
people
a-
generalise
I'll give an
continents.
example
How
about
can you
it.
Based on
generalise a
1 or 2
continent?
people
We
sometimes.
didn't get a chance to be educated, for example.
That was when the Dutch were there.
Yeah. And do you think if the people in the colony get a chance to get free, you will get them? Do you think?
Oh, now we're going right off the subject.
Yeah. See, my
Back to
friend from
host
Malaya
mode.
is very glad that Malaya will
Well, that's all we've got time for today.
independent next year. She's very proud, and she tells everybody that Malaya is going to be independent next year. Do you think that if you do that to the other places, then you will
Yes, we
you'll
will
make them satisfied?
Well, we hope it will make them satisfied. Every country wants to be independent. That's only natural. But there comes a point somebody to decide whether they're ready to receive their independence. But I know we could go off on another long argument about that.
Maybe we can have what... I'm sorry, Ralph.
Well, I was about to ask them, what do they think are the most common or basic causes of our prejudices? Is it mainly skin color?
Good question.
Do you mean, do you mean, for example, taking the American trouble in the South?
I guess
Originating in-
taking the American side of it, it's just that the white
find it
people
so
don't want
interesting.
to mix themselves up with the colored ones.
But what about the colored people? Perhaps they don't want to mix with the white people either.
Well, what about, since you brought up the American race problem, I'd like to ask you, is it as bad as you thought it was going to be before you came, or is it better or worse?
Well, I think it's what I've seen here and what I've heard while I am here and what I have read in the newspapers, it's just worse than I expected.
Love that he's reading newspapers.
No, I don't
Yeah.
agree. In England, we don't hear too much about the American problem, except, of course, when a certain case came up and the Supreme Court decision, we heard a lot about it then. But not too much. And when I came here, I had imagined from the Tiller case that things would be really terrible in the South. And I found that there's a real feeling of optimism here. I stayed in a Negro family, and I was able to see the position, really a bird's eye view of it, you might say. And the first thing that impressed me was that the Negroes themselves were not happy about the situation, but were pleased. They were grateful for what progress had been made, and they were sure that the situation would continue to improve. They
Is
said
that the 2 weeks you were in New Jersey that
yes,
you
that's
stayed in the
right,
Negro
when I
family?
was in the Negro family. I know that was in the northern part, and conditions are better there. And I was very impressed with that. They said it would be a slow process, but things were gradually improving. It was a matter of breaking down tradition, and I was very happy to find that.
I'd like to know some of your other
Breaking down
experiences
tradition.
with... Yes,
That's
yes.
right. Yeah.
I've never seen any evidence.
I'd love to get these all together as adults.
Evidences of
If they're all still around.
Racial prejudice.
How good would that be?
In the
That'd be
United
They'd
States.
be really old now.
Very old, yeah.
I found out that most Negroes are laborers, and they don't have a high position on business. But I was very glad when I saw the Negro girl in South Orange, in Columbia High School, who was the vice president of the student council.
I'm glad you did too. Yes, right now.
Here in New York and New Jersey, I don't see any racial segregation or something like that. But when we stop in Williamsburg and we stop in Negro school, I saw it's very strictly. I mean, the Negro school go to the special Negro, and I was talking to some of the girls in the school, and I asked them how they feel about being segregated. But they said that they don't mind about that, and what they want is equal rights. And there are some places that they can go, such as restaurant or some clubs. And I think that
That's crazy. I
since
still can't get
all
my head around
Americans
that.
claim and emphasize that America is the most democratic country in the world, and as long as segregation exists, I don't think it's a democratic.
Wow, man, how amazing her saying that.
Well,
back then.
adding something to that, isn't it that, well, in the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag, you mentioned something about, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation indivisible under God, with liberty and justice for all.
He speaks so
the last
intelligent.
phrase just doesn't suit everything. I mean, with this segregation problem here and the discrimination against colored people, how in the world could you have liberty and justice for all? And in one of my hospitality periods, I didn't expect that even the kids could carry it that far. I had the, privilege, I should say, of attending one of the dances sponsored by one of the civic groups. And I just noticed that, well, it was a big dance floor, and all the white kids were assembled on the left side, and the most, shall we say, not strategic part of the ballroom, well, all the colored boys and girls were in there. And I never saw a white boy asking a colored girl for a dance, nor did I see a colored boy asking a white girl for a dance.
I had a nasty experience
crazy,
too.
isn't it?
When I first arrived here, and
Wow,
I happened to mention
interesting,
to
isn't it?
Wow, there is around another 10 minutes of this video.
Yeah.
If you do want a part 3, this is already part 2. If you want us to carry on watching this and you're interested to see where this conversation goes, I'm fascinated by it. We haven't even, I feel like we haven't even said or reacted to it that much because we're just kind of fixed on it. Very interesting topic. To go back that far back in time now, what, 60, 70 years?
I wonder if they had any other conversations about anything else.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear them talk about other things.
But it's like so crazy that these kids were aware of the problems at this time, but it's still, I mean, to this day there's still problems, so I don't know.
I know, it's
But
just crazy. It's an interesting topic.
We can all do our part to be good people. It's all it is, not judging other people by anything.
No.
Just be a nice person.
They're all humans.
But then you get accused of simplifying it when you say be a nice person. That's like, that's not the solution because that's far too simple.
Yeah.
So anyway, but
anyway, we're getting deep.
Yeah, we will see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And as always, hope you stay safe. Hope you're doing well. See you in the next one.
Bye.